What is up, my Yugi tubers? Yet again, this is copy 7789. Coming at you guys, of course, with another deck profile in the deck analysis series. Um, and this one is actually one that's a little more special to me than any of the other deck types, really, that I've done recently. And of course, you're looking at Gravekeepers. I've always been a huge fan of Gravekeepers, even before they became really, really good. Like when Fraser Smith, excuse me, won with them in Atlanta. Um, the deck is just, and it's still, I think, pretty good up to this point. I'd consider it tier 1.5. I had been playing it the last couple times I went to locals, and I had done pretty well. I made top four the last time I was there, and then the previous time I actually won with them. Um, I just think they're a really good deck type. They're still really controlling, um, and they're good against most of the meta. Um, Obviously, they have an enormous advantage over Chaos Dragons. Um, Windups, I guess I would consider a 50-50 matchup just because it really depends on who goes first. I think if Gravekeepers go first, they definitely have a better shot to beat Windups than Windups have at beating Gravekeepers. And I think if Windups go first and they open up the loop, it's going to be pretty difficult for Gravekeepers to keep up with them. Um, like I said, Chaos Dragons is a very, very good matchup for this deck. The worst matchup is probably Dino Rabbit. Dino Rabbit does what this deck does, except much, much better. The only thing that you can really do is wall with a Gravekeeper Spy, mainly because it has 2,500 defense. Eventually, they're going to find a way around it, but I mean, there's really not much else to say. It's relatively difficult to beat Dino Rabbit. My only losses had come to Dino Rabbit. The last couple times I had been to locals with Gravekeepers. So yeah. Um, in Zectors, I'd probably say it's about a 60-40 matchup in Gravekeeper's favor. Um, just because if they don't open up the Hornet or you have something to stop that play, then yeah, I mean that's really just what it is. If you have something to stop their play, then you're going to beat Inzectors. If you can get the Hornet into the grave without them destroying anything. Obviously, you need Necrovalley on the field in that instance, but yeah, you get the point. And then the other deck type that I've talked about recently is Heretics. Heretics is obviously a pretty good matchup. They rely um, they don't rely on the graveyard, but it is a big part of what they do. And if you open up Royal Tribute against them, and they have a lot of monsters, it's going to be pretty difficult for them to come back. Um, and another bad matchup, I would have to say that the two worst matchups easily have to be Dino Rabbit and Dark World, especially if you go first and you open up Royal Tribute against a Dark World deck, you're probably going to lose. They're going to get their Dark World effects off with the second effects. Excuse me, I can't talk today apparently. They're going to get their effects off, including their second effects that they have on each card. Um, so it is going to be relatively difficult for you to defeat Dark World. But other than that, I really, really enjoy playing this deck. It's a lot of people say it really doesn't take any skill to play, or um, it's a pretty straightforward deck, which it is. I just don't necessarily agree that it doesn't take skill to play the deck. I still think you need to know, like, it's important to know when to bluff your opponent with this deck. Like, and if you have, if they think you're going to set a spy and you set a recruiter instead, and you try and, let's say you try and summon another monster next turn, and they torrential thinking it's a spy, where you're going to get a plus off the recruiter, or at least go even with the recruiter. Um, so yeah. Um, and this deck really has more of a stun kind of feel to it, I guess. It loves to play a lot of back rows. I know when I was playing it with about 14 traps, I believe. You really don't need many spells, just the staple stuff like dualities to help consistency. Steel, obviously, to get your Gravekeeper monsters back to continue your stun aspect, and so on and so forth. So yeah, and of course the most important piece, Necro Valley. This card is just an incredible card in general. Um, as far as it getting hit on the ban list, I can't see Konami doing anything to Gravekeepers. Royal Tributes at 2. If they really wanted to do anything to Gravekeepers, they could either put Royal Tribute to 1 or ban it. But other than that, there's no point to touch Gravekeepers whatsoever. No point. Um, they haven't done anything. I think, maybe top 32 a couple events. But other than that, they really have not made a huge splash ever since they won Atlanta. Now, they did well in tournaments since then, and then when Road Tribute went down to 2, and then when Dark Worlds eventually came out, Gravekeepers lost a lot. I don't want to say lost a lot of luster, but a lot of people were not playing it anymore because the possibility to run into Dark World was higher. Some people are starting to pick it back up now because not as many people are playing Dark World anymore. Um, and it's still a really, really good deck in general. So, so yeah, um, that's really all I have, YouTube. Stay tuned tomorrow. Um, I might just do it in the morning before yeah, I'll probably just do it in the morning. Um, it's probably gonna be on Dark World. Um, yeah, definitely gonna be on Dark World. So yeah, guys, as always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And stay tuned for tomorrow's video. And I think I'm going to make that the last deck analysis video. Um, and and I only say that because, well, no, I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to make that the last deck analysis video. Um, I figure I've hit, no, well, you know what, there actually are a couple more that I do want to do. Um, So yeah, so we'll do Dark Worlds tomorrow, like I said, and then stay tuned. I'll probably do a couple. I'll probably do like 2 more during the early part of next week, like Monday and Tuesday, and then probably Thursday or Friday of next week, I might have a ban list prediction video, and if not next week, the week after. So that's all I have, guys, of course. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, like I said. And stay tuned for more videos. All right, peace out, YouTube.